Blasten is an indie game very much inspired by Mega Man, but is it worth playing for fans of the Blue Bomber, or are we all just better off waiting another year for Dual Override? The story is ripped right out of Mega Man. There are two doctors who used to be lab partners, the evil Dr. Craven and your creator, Dr. Gray. There's a chip that gives various robots sentience, and as usual, they all go crazy, and it's up to Blasten to step in and save the day. While the story may seem really derivative, that is by design. The story is not doing anything original because it is made to spoof Mega Man, and it does a really good job with it. The dialogue is funny, and I genuinely enjoyed reading the cutscenes between levels and before boss battles, as they were generally well written and worth a laugh. I won't spoil anything, but just know it is definitely worth your time to read through the story bubbles. The gameplay will feel very familiar to fans of the Blue Bomber. You have an arm cannon, only instead of your hand being a cannon, Blasten puts his fingers out like a gun when he shoots. It's a nice touch, and it fits the silly mood of the rest of the game. You have a charge shot with 2 levels of charge, complete with the annoying sound effect we all know and love, and you also have a dash, which is not invincible, but it ducks you down a little bit, allowing you to pass through many projectiles, as well as the world's goofiest run animation. I mean, just look at this guy go, but it does fit the silly theme of the game nicely. After a brief tutorial stage, there are 4 robot masters that can be fought in any order, although the weapon system is handled differently than what you'd expect. Each time you defeat a boss, you get a core. You can go to a menu to change what each core does, and each of them are associated with a new boss weapon, just like Mega Man. But you could forego getting that weapon in exchange for a power-up, like a double jump, extra armor, and getting rid of a knockback, just to name a few. It's an interesting system. On one hand, I thought it was cool that it let you customize how you want your character to play, but the drawback was I never used any weapon except my main buster. I always felt like I would just much rather have things like extra health and the ability to double jump, so I beat the game never experimenting with any of the boss weapons. Every core comes with 3 upgrades. In my opinion, you should get the weapon and then have to choose from the remaining 2, so you can still upgrade your character, but then also get the fun of using weapons, which is always one of my favorite parts of the Mega Man series, which I didn't really experience in this game. Even though it was an option, it just never felt like the strongest one. The other drawback is the system leads to a reverse difficulty curve. When I first started this game, I died a ton. I think for the first hour and a half or so, I could not beat a single level. I started with the Haunted Theme Park level, and I lost all my lives on the second screen. You ride these little platforms, and the knockback is huge. Like really, you have never seen knockback like this in a retro game. One hit, and it's instant death. I eventually got the hang of it, and was able to get past these obscenely fast-moving platforms without too much trouble, but then you run into the Red Devil from Ghosts and Goblins, who killed me a ton. To make matters worse, there are 0 health pickups or extra lives. You get what you get, and you just gotta deal with it. I eventually got good enough to make it to the boss pretty easily, but I just kept on dying to him. His pattern was pretty simple to follow, but his attacks were hard to dodge, and this teleport thing, I just couldn't figure out how to dodge, so I eventually tapped out of the theme park. You get between 3 and 5 lives on each level. Checkpoints are frequent, with each new screen giving you a new checkpoint. When you lose all your lives, it's back to the start of the stage. Even getting to the boss with all 5 lives, I still couldn't beat him. At this point, I was frustrated, so I hoped I would have better luck with another stage. So I tried the weather stage. This had some interesting gimmicks baked in. You have to ride these elevators, but they don't go on their own. You have to lure the lightning cloud to the correct battery to make them go, while dodging or fighting enemies that spawn in. Not too bad. But you also get several sections where gravity and wind are fighting against you, as well as some auto-scrolling sections that were really tough, and a cool mid-boss that's a giant robot. Well, I died a ton here, and at this point I had just had enough. I screamed a giant F you to the game, turned off my computer pouting about how much I hated this unfair game. And it literally haunted me that night. It's never healthy to go to bed angry, folks, about anything, but I was. And I'm not lying when I say that I literally had nightmares about this game after getting my butt handed to me by it all night. I was impressed by the level design though. Both of the 2 levels I played were filled with interesting set pieces, and despite how hard they were, I was enjoying it, and I was determined to not let this game beat me. The next day, I fired it up and tried the sand level. I figured a fresh start and a new level might yield better luck. This had some cool things going on it as well. You have this angry sun that makes flares up, and you have to hide in the shade to avoid getting burned. Eventually the sun confronts you, and you just have to kill it in a mini boss battle. That was really well done. This gravity machine in a bar messes with your jumps, and that was kind of annoying, but I was able to get through. and the boss is a giant rock monster. He kind of reminds me of the Yellow Devil, and he teleports around the screen throwing rocks at you, but he wasn't too bad, and I finally got my first boss win, and it felt great. The power-up given to me by the boss afforded me extra armor. I figured with this extra boost, I'd try to go back into the haunted theme park. I had already kind of mastered it, and with the extra health and the strategies I dreamt of the night before, I felt maybe I could finally take this boss down, and I did, which felt amazing, and it gave me the ability to double jump. With these new abilities in place, I tried the water level. This was a really fun level with Mega Man style spikes to avoid and fish that leave trails of rainbow poop. I was able to beat this on my first try and then finally finish the weather level that plagued me the night before. And that's what I mean when I say this game has a reverse difficulty curve. It starts out really hard, but as you learn its systems and power up your character, the later half becomes much easier than the first half. That is not necessarily a bad thing, as you do have to work for your abilities, but it is just something to keep in mind. After the 4 main stages, you get 2 extra stages and the game is over. I won't spoil them too much here, other than to say there was one really difficult boss that will trigger PTSD in anyone who has played Mega Man 7, and the last boss as easy as the wily alien in Mega Man 2. Overall, I really enjoyed this game. It has a strong sense of humor with genuinely funny writing, the level design is extremely varied and fun, the controls are tight, and I really enjoyed the difficulty once I was done pouting and cursing about it. I was not sure what to make of it at first, but after reflecting on my time with it, I had a Blasten playing through it. If you love Mega Man as much as I do, definitely give this one a shot.